Welcome back to another semester of TAKEU. I'm Abigail Brown, and I'll be your host as we take you into the lives of influential student leaders, entrepreneurs, and artists. Today we have with us a person who at an early age fell in love with the world of photography. Join me in welcoming Marcus Booth. Welcome, Marcus.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I remember being camera 2, watching other people come through that was big and influential and had crazy talent that we would just constantly like interview all the time throughout the past 3 years that I've been into broadcasting and in the club. So it's just wild actually seeing me up here on, getting interviewed as well.
Yeah, it's cool to come from the practicum days.
Yeah, long way.
Oh, sorry. Firstly, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was an athlete at first here at UNC Pembroke. I consider myself really like an all-around person. I like to do it all. I like to do many things. I'm a jack of all trades. I like to be able to complete many tasks and be able to be an all-around person with anything and everything that I do. Like I have determination to be great at everything, no matter what it is, from like obviously like videos and audio stuff to like art. Like I love art as well. Like I like to do it all. Like there's really nothing that I can specifically really say myself basically.
Okay, what about your classification or any ranks you hold on campus?
I'm a senior. I'm the president of the BASC club. That's the Broadcast Education Association Student Club here on campus. Yeah.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, home of the 252, the legendary 252, home of ECU as well. It's a college town. It revolves around East Carolina. Is really, not much there besides ECU. But I mean, it's where I grew up. It's where my heart's at. It's always going to be at. So.
So what made you choose to come to UNCP over ECU or anywhere?
Well, at first, I didn't have a high enough GPA to get into the school that I wanted to. And at the time, my parents really all they really cared about was me getting a track scholarship, like me running track somewhere. Because I was really good in track when I was in high school. Like I was a triple jumper. I went to states twice, and I placed second my last year, and I got third in my junior year. So there was I started getting offers from other D2 colleges from out of state, and we was trying to look at a college that was in the state and had what I wanted to do in college, because I wanted to come to a school that had dealing with film somewhere. And I was going to go to UNCG, but at the time UNCG didn't have a track program. They only had football and other sports, but mainly I wanted to come here for track. And I tried looking at film school, going to the North Carolina School of Arts in Winston-Salem, but they don't have an athletic team, and we was just trying to somehow get me a scholarship somewhere. So I ended up going on this blog where it was where players will put their film in their ranks and stuff like that. It's kind of like one of those scouting pages where coaches will come online and try to find, potential players from other states and other places. And I ended up getting contacted here from UNC, from the coach at the time from UNC Pembroke. And that's kind of how I came to Pembroke. So I was originally running track at Pembroke. And then after a while, after my first year running track at Pembroke, I quit the team for various reasons. One of the reasons was because I started getting knee trouble and having knee pains in both my knees. And another one was I kind of wanted to dive more into film, because I came to UNC Pembroke already knowing what I wanted to do. I already knew what I wanted to do since I was 11. I started shooting little music videos and stuff like that at the age of 16, but originally, when I really started making videos and stuff like that, I was 11. So I already had a concept of what I want to do, and I just want to continue it further wherever I landed at.
So I know you mentioned your high school. Did your high school offer any classes that were related to what you wanted to do when you came to college?
Not necessarily. I really didn't see anything dealing with broadcast or film or anything dealing with video. The closest thing I'd say that we had was a digital art class, but it was more or less it wasn't really hands-on. It was just kind of we would kind of mess with Photoshop and all the little Adobe products. It wasn't more in depth how it is here, being in college where you're actually, using the Creative Cloud more.
Okay. So, and I know you said you're a jack of all trades. So how would you classify yourself? As a videographer, a photographer?
A videographer, a creative director, an animator, visual effects, like because of my department chair, who is my advisor as well, Dr. Liddy, she last year recommended me to the I forgot the name of the building.
Television Academy?
Not Television Academy, but what's that building? Locklear Hall? Was it Locklear?
I think so.
I don't. But the digital art department. That's what it is.
Okay.
She recommended me to the digital art department, and I kind of went in there and I kind of seen how like stuff was getting, kind of like done, and it kind of interested me at first. So like I took a basic media integration class, and I ended up making like a couple of projects in there. I ended up getting a C in the class, but even though I failed, even though I got a C in that class, it kind of like drawed me more towards getting into animation, because like I was really interested in the concept of doing it. Like I was like, this is something that's gonna like boost, it's gonna boost and help me as far as my videos, and add more to my videos, because I was always somebody that wanted to have more things in my videos, So like that's kind of how I got into that.
Okay. And what inspired you to get into the work that you do now?
A lot inspired me. Like music inspires me, contemporary art inspires me, cinematography inspires me, films inspire me. I like watching movies whenever I get any downtime to kind of like get ideas and stuff like that from different movies of what I can, potentially do. I have a lot of inspirations from different videographers, one of them being Aze Productions, which is a music video videographer. Another one being Cole Bennett, and I actually met Cole Bennett as well at South by Southwest 2018, which is a music conference. Well, it's a music conference, it's the interactive media and it's film, but I always go to the music part because that's where I want to network at and, possibly go out there and gain more clientele. And I ended up meeting him at a little digital music video hip hop strategies panel that he was talking at. And after the panel, I got to, briefly talk to him because, people that's high up, they always got other meetings and stuff they got to go to. So like, I ended up getting a piece of advice from him, and like one piece of advice that kind of stuck with me, because I asked him like, how is he so creative and how is he like able to keep going and making a visual better than the next visual and then making that visual better than the next visual. Like one thing he said to me was like, always think outside the box, and to be able to always challenge yourself even more to create better things, because like the more you challenge yourself, the better you are at at whatever craft that you do.
And so since you're pulling your inspiration from so many different places, where do you think this will lead you in this career field?
Honestly, like I want to stay into film. Like I want to go into like movies. Like I want to be able to be like a part of a crew of I'm either an animator or I'm either an animator in the video game industry. I like playing video games too. Like I grew up playing like a lot of video games, racing games, first person shooter games, all those type of games. And like the graphics at the time really interest me as well. And I seen like they always had like a team of people that would always like develop all that stuff. So like I would want to do video games as well. I'd want to go into like more depth into animation. I want to make my own cartoon. Like I'm an animated person. Like people that know me on campus, like I always make them laugh. So it's like I'm always like a real animated person. It's like I want to be able to like get my thoughts on like a digital screen, Because like everything I think about and everything I do is really like animated. Like I view myself honestly as a cartoon character, if we're honestly, keeping it real. So like I want to do that stuff. Like I want to do so much. It's never really one thing I want to do. And like you asked me that, kind of like, it kind of like grabs me to like really like think outside the box. Like what do I actually want to do? Because I do so much. Like I do like 5 different positions already as it is, with like me being in the film industry. Like I can do like many things within the film industry that I learned off the strength of just like YouTube, and then being here in class, and then doing it hands-on. So like it's just so much I want to do, and just having just a mental drive to be able to like continue and go forward with everything. Like I want to do it all.
And so I know you just mentioned a conference you went to where you met a lot of people. I'm sure you've had different experiences like that. How many people would you say that you've worked with?
How many people have I said I've worked with? I've worked with so many people. I work with all genders, all races. It's really no like definite number, because like I've been like, this is me taking it serious for 5 years. So I've been really doing it seriously for 5 years, and I've just started traveling like last year, doing this a lot too. So it's like I don't really know. Like I'll say it's probably in like the high hundreds, maybe. Like I've worked with like maybe touching 1,000, maybe scraping the surface of 1,000 people. Like because I've done it. I've done so much. I've done like commercials as well. I've done like little corporate videos. I've done like little promotions. Like I've like worked as kind of like a graphic designer a little bit, doing like a little bit of projects as well. And then obviously the music videos, and then the documentary I've been working on for a while too. Like it's a lot of people I've worked with of all statuses.
And in all of that work, have you kind of fine-tuned a technique in your videography?
Yeah. Well, one editing technique that I probably have done recently, because like there's another videographer I forgot to mention as well. His name is Lone Wolf. I found Lone Wolf 2 years ago because he made a video for an artist named Famous Dex, and I thought it was cool with the little cuts and stuff that he did as well in the video. So like I kind of like implemented that as well, because I didn't want to like completely copy his style. Like my whole thing, I want to have my own style. Like I want to have my own like, you know, sauce or whatever. Like I want to have my own type of like style. And yeah.
So having your own type of style, is there certain work that you will choose to not attach your name to compared to ones that you would actively seek to look and work for?
Yeah. So like me personally, I'm a videographer that like to like really push my limits. Like I'm one of those videographers that like to, no matter what I work on, like I want to make it better than the last thing I work on. So like, I mean, like I can do basic things, but like I've done so much complex stuff that it's hard for me to do basic things. So I'd rather just do complex stuff, which is weird that I'm, you know, kind of like, it's kind of backwards like that. But like, I kind of just like to, you know, really, I like to, you know, dive into projects that really get me to like think outside the box and to be able to really like move forward and to do more. Like I like doing more. Like I always want to like, you know, do a lot.
And I know we have a few of your videos here. Is there something, should we play one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, why don't we pull up a video of yours? Is there one specifically you'd like to show us?
No, you can show any of them.
Okay. Then why don't we show,
Oh yeah, see this video right here, this video is my favorite video right here. This was made in basic television production. And I remember at the time it was me, my friend Jeremiah, and Sequoia, and Faith as well. And we all needed to have like an idea as an intro to what type of TV show that we needed to make. So I was just like, wow, we was just like, why don't we make a Martin themed 90s show dealing with, you know, the 90s culture and 90s music, kind of like make it like a little questionnaire. So that's kind of about how that theme came up. And I kind of just looked at the Martin show over and over again as well to kind of like implement that. And then that's kind of how I just came up with that. And I literally did that intro in the night, and I posted it on Instagram, and everybody absolutely loved it.
and do you post a lot of your work on social media?
Yeah, I post a lot of my work on social media, mainly my Instagram. I have a website too. That's kind of like, I'm starting to start building my portfolio on that for like stuff that's like not specifically that's going to be on like my social medias. Cause like I kind of like my algorithm as well. I kind of started posting a lot more photography of like, you know, celebrities and artists that I've took already. So like I kind of want to like, you know, all my throwaway stuff and stuff I really don't like, you know, that's not really appealing to people. I kind of want to just throw that on my website.
Okay. And who is the most interesting person you'd say you worked with so far?
The most interesting person I said I worked with so far, it's this artist from Atlanta named K Supreme. And I briefly worked with K Supreme when I stayed in Atlanta last summer for a little bit as well. And it's weird working with somebody that they don't know who you are and they didn't know who you are, but you knew who they was because you was listening to their music for 3 years. And like, it was really cool coming into the studio and actually seeing like a real studio vibe of how things is really ran in like kind of like a little, you know, mainstream type studio. And I kind of learned from him as well to, you know, kind of keep up the pace when you're working with bigger people, to be able to like be on point with a lot of things to make sure you're really professional. So I'm saying that's probably one person I've, you know, that stood out to me that I've worked with. I wish I could have like stayed down there longer, but you know, school comes around, so like I had to come back up here. But it's really no telling what would have happened if I would have stayed down there longer.
So if that was the most interesting, what would you say was the most meaningful work you've done?
The most meaningful work I've done, it's this documentary as well that I've been working on for about a year and some change with this woman named Janissa Munley. And it's about her story, and I was able to capture a lot of like what she's gone through with, you know, her being growing up in Laurinburg, North Carolina, and then her coming here to UNC Pembroke to play basketball. And it's just amazing about how the things that she has went through to be able to rise above, to be able to make a standpoint on who she is and what she wants to become. And I was able to capture many things, like many family things as well. Like I can't reveal too much of it, but it's a really meaningful like documentary that's going to come out.
And is that style of documentary something you want to pursue in filmmaking?
Yeah, I would. It's cool, but like I'm more of a creative person, so like I want to be able to like do like a lot of creative things. But like I said, I can really do anything. Like I can if another documentary was presented to me, I will obviously get a team of people to hire because it's only us two working on it. So that's why it's taking so long to do it. But I will obviously get like, you know, more people to work on it with me if I was to do a documentary style.
Okay. Do you have anyone that you look up to inside of your field?
Inside of my field, well, I'll say on a business standpoint, my father, Jimmy Booth Sr., I kind of look up to him as well on like an entrepreneurship type of field because for years he had his own business. I'm wearing one of his shirts right now, by the way, but he had his own lawn care service. And at first I used to hate cutting grass. Like I used to hate cutting grass. I used to hate waking up early in the morning just to go down to like the field that he used to grow up on, and the field was huge. We would work on that field for like from like 8 a.m. to like 1 p.m. Cutting grass and whatnot. And after a while, he kind of like I kind of like really like taught myself, you know, after a while with it being like a life thing more or less, and I appreciate it more now, you know, how it used to be then. But speaking of him anyway, turf tacklers, we tackle the turf stuff. If you need anything dealing with your lawn care, you need, you know, any landscape specialists, or you need anything dealing with, you know, just taking care of your lawn, contact my father at 252-258-5844.
Well, that's a little plug. There you go. Is there anything else you'd like to say about it?
Besides, I mean, also with him being too as well, he also had cameras around in the house too. So like he would always capture like, you know, the family moments. He had a VHS camera that's still in the house, and I'm trying to fix it somehow. Like I don't know if it's the battery messed up or like if the little discs, the tape disc messed up on it. But he had Polaroids. He had the VHS. I remember him taking it to Disney World with us when I was really young and capturing us on Disney World with it. I got to get those like developed somehow because like it's a lot of memories and I don't want those tapes to rot. But I honestly say if it really was for him having all that in the house and just kind of presenting the cameras and just kind of like, you know, him working with cameras, I kind of wouldn't know what my occupation would be. I honestly wouldn't know like what I'd do without him, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Would you like to show us another one of your videos?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
See, this is the project I was telling you I got a C on. It's like it took me all semester to do because we had to do it in like this Adobe product called After Effects, and I had to like take a picture of myself and then cut myself out in Photoshop, and then I had to make sure every individual layer, like my arms, my head, and even the beanie at the time, be able to move on its own to be able to convert to After Effects to be able to be animated. So it took me like going into the art department every day and just working on it for several hours. I got headaches from looking at the screen for so long. Things wouldn't work in how it's supposed to be, so like I would get frustrated a lot. But after a while, that's what was the end product. And a lot of people liked it. I feel like if I had more time to work on it, I could have made it better than what it is, but a lot of people like that.
And is there a certain like kind or brand of equipment that you use or you prefer?
As far as cameras, I'm a Sony guy. I love Sony. Like my first camera that my father brought me was a Canon. It was a Canon PowerShot. I was recording like little action figure videos off of it, and I would like take that to like Windows Movie Maker at the time on a Windows computer, on the family computer, to kind of edit it as well. But after a while, I kind of like researched and researched. And for my 16th birthday, he brought me my first Sony DSLR camera, which I used up until like I got to college, filming everything and anything and taking pictures of anything and everything. And then after a while, I did like, I'll say about 2 or 3 years of research on what type of camera that I wanted. I looked at video tests consistently. I looked at a lot of like information on Amazon.com or like whatever the camera manufacturer, like the Sony manufacturers was at the time. So like I would look at so much, and after a while I kind of just made a decision with like, you know, the little bit of savings I had in my account and a little bit of money I had, and then, you know, trying to wait for, you know, the refunds to come. And I just brought the camera that I use now.
Okay. And why don't we take a look at another one of your videos?
Okay.
What about this one?
See, this was my advanced media integration project. This one's always gonna be always gonna be like a really like meaningful like video that I've ever done. I also had the help of Ben Williams and Tyler Young to help me out film this video and help out act in this video as well. And this was all mainly done in After Effects 2 with a little bit of Sony Vegas Pro, because that was like the first like editing system that I've used ever before I actually had to come here to convert to the Max here to use Premiere Pro all the time to edit. So that's kind of one of my favorite videos ever. That's always gonna be one of my favorite videos ever.
And how about this one here?
This one right here was a typography project we had to do. This is a recent video I kind of did for a project from the art department as well. And I decided to test my limits on doing it by doing a really fast-paced song by an artist named Joey Badass. And he was really rapping fast, so I had to really time up the like words to everything to really make it come out. And luckily, it really came out perfect how I wanted to.
And I know in a few of those videos we saw you in front of the camera, you behind it. Do you have a preference, or does it feel weird to be in front of a camera?
It doesn't really feel weird to be in front of the camera no more. I used to be like, this is absolutely weird. This video that's showing as well right here too. This was a little promo that I made for my older brother Jimmy Booth Jr. for his football camp that he was hosting at the time, that was filmed at New Bern High School, to kind of like show the other players or people that's, you know, high school and middle school players as well, to kind of like give them the little rundown and what they could like expect to come to like his football camp and like what goes on at the football camp. So this is just really capturing like, you know, highlights and like good moments and like, you know, everything under the sun.
Okay. It's pretty interesting.
And then this right here, this was one of my favorite videos by an artist named Blowsco. We filmed this in Greenville, North Carolina at the bus station when it first opened up. So this was like fairly new. But this was filmed back in November of this past year. And I really like the editing style and the color on this. And like the editing style, my editing styles honestly come out of nowhere. Like I can like shoot a music video and sometimes I don't even know how I'm gonna edit it. This was one of those videos where I didn't even know how I was gonna edit it. And I ended up just one day just sparking an idea, and like I would do like one little thing in a video and I continue it throughout my videos. That's kind of like my techniques as well. Like I would kind of continue that. And this video actually made it to one of the biggest music blogs on Instagram, which is Say Cheese Digital, where they kind of like post music and other artists from different places all over the world. And I got on Instagram one afternoon and I seen that video. I was like, what? Like, I made that. Like I used to always like be like, dang, I want to get my video up there. And like it was just crazy because I was like, yo, like it's huge. Like they have like 500K followers. Like it's huge. And then this video right here was the Step Show promo that my friend Tyler and I made last year, and he helped film it as well too. And this was pretty cool filming that too.
So you truly are a jack of all trades.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Something like that.
Now, if you could work anywhere, because you've clearly done a lot of traveling to different places,
yes,
where could you choose to work?
I wish there was like 5 different me's, because like I haven't been to New York. I want to go to New York one day to see how that is, because I want to see how the film industry up there is. I've been to Los Angeles. I've been to Atlanta, Georgia. I've been everywhere in the South, Texas. I've been to everywhere in the South. Honestly, there's really like no place specifically that I would like to. I mean, I kind of would say maybe Atlanta, really, or like Los Angeles for the film industry, but I didn't really get to experience LA like that how I wanted to. So I don't really know. But like far as maybe I want to land at would be Atlanta.
And land as far as putting a career there and oh wow,
Possibly
okay.
putting a career there, possibly putting a career in Los Angeles, like wherever the wind takes. Like I know a lot of people around the world and around the United States. So it's honestly I couldn't really give you like a definite spot because like with so many connections that I have built over the years with just knowing people and keeping friends on social media. Like I have a lot of social media friends that I ended up visiting or ended up meeting as well after a while. And with the connections that they had, and like usually there are other photographers and videographers as well too. Like that's usually their occupation. They have something dealing with either music or art. So like no matter what, like everywhere I go, like I always run into somebody that I've like do off the internet, and it's weird.
And so you mentioned New York. What would draw you there?
One, because I haven't been to New York, and two, I heard like a lot of good films and a lot of great things happen in New York, and a lot of great content is in New York. I just want to visit New York so I can like really get a feel if I want to plant my home base there.
Okay. And do you know of any videographers or producers that you've met that are in your age range that you can kind of get some networking done?
It's a couple. I know there's a guy in Miami that that I've kind of like briefly talked to as well. That he works close with Kodak Black. It was his Kodak Black director. His name is Wavy Lord. It's so many directors everywhere. It's so many directors I want to meet. Like it's a lot of directors and people that I have met over the years that have done a lot of great things in their travel. Like another guy that inspires me as well that I met, he's from Raleigh. I don't know if you know, his name is Linus in his camera. You ever heard of Linus?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Linus is pretty huge. Linus is what actually got me into film photography because he would post like a lot of film photography reviews and he would do a lot of like, developing on his own. And that's kind of what like inspired me to do film photography as well, because film photography is kind of like, the old school photography where you have to have a roll and you got to put it in the camera and you got to wind it up and you take pictures and you don't know how the pictures came out until you get them developed. And it doesn't, you can't like, it doesn't matter how they came out until you get them developed. And I kind of use my film camera now as like an archive of camera. I kind of like capture moments, or I usually just take pictures of myself because I like the way the grain looks and I post it on Instagram. And it makes my feed look different from everybody else that's actually doing real photography and still taking pictures with their phone. It just singles me out. I just like the way film looks. Film actually was made me fall back in love with photography because at one point in time, I was strictly a videographer. Like I didn't want to do anything with photography whatsoever. Like people would hit me up like, yo, you want to take pictures of this, da, 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 you want to take pictures of that? I'm like, nah, I don't really, do stuff like that. I don't know how to really color grade and stuff like that. But like having a film camera really like taught me to appreciate photography more and like to really like capture good angles and to really take time in capturing the right moment.
Okay.
That's why I like film.
And I guess we're running out of time here. So what advice would you give to someone who's interested in pursuing this?
You gotta learn to take risks in a field like this. Like I've took many risks. I have like, my parents told me that I couldn't do something or I couldn't go nowhere. I ended up going that place because like, it was like, I trusted my gut feeling. Like always learn to trust your gut feeling. Research, because everybody has a different preference when it comes to a certain camera or a certain piece of stabilizer or equipment or whatever. Like everybody is like different when it comes to certain things. Always find something that fits you as well. Like that's going to make you comfortable to be able to, build off of what the platform that you have now.
That seems to be all the time we have left for today. Until next time, that's a take.